When I was a young kid growing up in South Beloit, I'd get up out of bed in the morning, go down to the kitchen for breakfast, and my mother would be sitting there in a corrections officer uniform and my dad in a police uniform. So there was never any doubt in my mind what I wanted to do with my life as when I got older and I grew up. My dream was to be in law enforcement since I can remember, and that was strictly out of a love and respect for my parents. Then I had an older brother that was in law enforcement, cousins that are in law enforcement. So I grew up in a law enforcement family. I can remember when I first got my driver's license on a Saturday, my mother worked at the jail as a corrections officer from 3 in the afternoon to 11 at night. So on a Saturday, I would drive her to work and park on Elm Street in front of the old sheriff's department and drop my mother off to go to work. And I would sit there and I would wait for her to get off at 11 o'clock at night. And I would drink a pop and eat some potato chips, and I'd watch the deputies come and go. And I used to think about that's where I want to work someday. As I got older, I ended up going into the Navy. When I was in the Navy, I came home on leave, and I tested for the Sheriff's Department. Then I went back in and finished my term in the Navy and came out in 1967. I got hired to work there at the Sheriff's Department. I know my father talked to me about trying the state police, and that was all well and good, but my dream was to work where my parents worked. It's just, so I'm second generation law enforcement. My son is in law enforcement now, is the third generation law enforcement. My father and my mother, neither one were political people. My dad served warrants, arrest warrants every day, and my mother worked in the jail as a corrections officer. So not only did I want to go into law enforcement, but I wanted to go into county law enforcement at the local level here in Winnebago County. This is where I was born and raised. It's where I grew up. It's where I experienced the influence of my parents, and I wanted to follow in their footsteps, and I'm very proud of the fact that I've been able to do that.